Well, had a bit of a score today. Found a few. Well, let's just say I found out that there's a computer scrapping place around the block. They've got a warehouse full of really amazing stuff. They don't sell hard drives, but I got a guy who sells hard drives also just around the block in the opposite direction. And they also happen to have a nice pile of PC100 RAM. And I had a nice pile of PC100 RAM. And a cinema display for $5. A Quicksilver for $10. A G3 tower, $5. G4, I think this is the first Firewire 400. It's not the digital audio. It's not the Mystic. I thought it was the Mystic when I picked it up, but it's still for $5. It's really good. That's the hard drive mounting bracket out of this one. And I opened these guys up and I started looking at them, and this looks stock. That looks like a stock 450 right there. Dual 450. That's what this is supposed to be. Although, since it's not gigabit Ethernet and it's missing a couple of RAM slots, I'm thinking that it actually is not the 450. I think it's a single 400 or a dual 400. But still, it's a nice find. It's got a Rage 128 with cinema display capability. These two, of course, being G3s, obviously only have the ability to run PCI-based video cards. They've both got Rage 128s in them as well, PCI version. Of course, I think like 8 megabytes of video memory. But this one, I opened them up and I was just looking at the inside. This one's got a stick of untyped, improperly labeled memory that I've got no bloody clue how big it is. I'll find out when I turn it on, but you know, you've got the... Is that chip supposed to be bare like that? Yeah, it is in the other one, too. Interesting. Anyways, it's a very beautiful-looking Motorola chip right there. That is the G3. Obviously, the G3s are a lot less power-hungry and hot than the G4s, being the first iteration, I believe, of IBM's power architecture. Or second iteration, I forget which. But the bottom line is, that is not a stock 350 megahertz G3 upgrade card. That's got an Otherworld Computing SKU on it. It's a Otherworld Computing CZ4550MA. I have not actually researched what this is yet. I'll go ahead and make another video updating on what exactly it is, but I'm thinking by the model number it's either a 450 or a 550 megahertz G3 or G4. I don't know which yet. It could be either. I know Otherworld Computing made G4 upgrades for these G3 towers, and they include onboard fast level 2 cache running at the CPU clock speed, making them significantly faster than the stock, or even if you were able to transplant a stock G4 running at 550 into one of these things, it would not be as fast as one of the Otherworld Computing or like upgrade cards. So I'm excited to see that, because this was $5. It was sold as stock. Well, it's not. I love these upgrade cards. Whoops. Oh, almost forgot about the screws that I found floating in here, which worries me a little bit. But I got two of these, so if one of them... Ow! And I just cut myself on the video card. That was fun. I've got two of these, and both of them have beat-up bits and beat-up panels. Sorry. Try to close this up. Oh my god. It does not want to close. You butthead. It's doing this because I'm trying to shoot a video. There we go. That was fun. This one obviously isn't in as good a shape, and that does look like a stock chip, but I honestly don't know now. Well, it looks like it's got some water damage on it. These were all sold as working, and I don't see any blown or bulging caps on any of them. Actually, interestingly enough, I only see one, maybe two caps on the entire board on these G3s. Oh, wait, never mind. No, they got some solid-state caps. But still, no real worries about blown caps on these guys, because I don't see any electrolytic capacitors on them at all. I like that. I think... Yeah, that's FireWire. Does this thing have a airport card slot? No airport card slot. The other cool one that I got, yeah, see, that's pretty beat up. But that one's pretty not beat up. Like, that side's beat up on that one. But that side's not so beat up on this one. With a little bit of retro bright and swapping pieces between the two. I mean, look at the difference in the color blue on the top of this one compared to this one. That's got some mold or rust or something under there. But still, $5, $5, $5. That's the bracket for that. This was $10, and the guy was... Uh-oh. Shit. Okay, I gotta... So I'm gonna have to track down another copy of my Tiger install disc. It failed the install the first time, so I went ahead and let it do the disc check, and it found an error. See if I can get it to eject the disc. That's the problem, is this thing's got no eject button on it. And so far the only way I've found to actually eject the disc out of it is to pop it out with a frickin' paper clip. You can try the holding down the mouse button trick. I was told that doing that may work. See if it'll spit out that CD for me. Nope. That would be a nope. Come on, you little bugger. Finger in front of lens does not make good photography. Shit, I'm not sure what to do here. It was $10. I shall get it working. I just need to track down another Tiger install disc. I may go ahead and go the yo-ho route of downloading the actual Quicksilver restore discs offline. Because this is the dual 1 gigahertz, making it the second fastest Mac I'll have. Third fastest, yeah, second fastest. Makes it slightly faster than my A1106 PowerBook G4. But the cinema display is really cool. I've never had one of these. I've never even touched one of these. I've seen one from a distance. But I mean, this is just, it's really good quality. The refresh rate's a little lower than you would expect for something of this high quality, just because of its age. I think this is from 2002. In fact, I'm pretty sure that this goes with this. I mean, yeah, the refresh rate's not great. Of course, it could also be the software rendering from the video card in the installer. I'm not sure. But that one cable plugs into the back, and you get USB video and power for both the USB and the monitor through one cable. I mean, I understand why they abandoned it pretty quickly. The thing is very prone to failure because it is a single point failure. When one thing goes wrong with your cable, you lose all of it. I get it, but it's cool. Damn it! I wanted to get this installed before I had to go pick up my nephew, because when I go pick up my nephew, I'm going to be taking his computer out of this ugly ass HP stock case, which doesn't have room for the CD drive with the big freaking power supply I had to stick in it for his gaming video card. He's 3. And we're gonna upgrade it. As far as he's concerned, it's an upgrade because he wants big pewter. So I picked this up for $15. Nice little Soprano RS Thermaltake case. Yeah, Thermaltake. I don't know why I say Thermaltake, but Thermaltake. It doesn't have the side fans, doesn't have the back fan. Like, everything was stripped out of this thing. Like, absolutely everything. Even the fucking feet. But for $15, it's a good solid case that if my nephew gets on top of, I don't have to worry about him breaking. The other one's plastic, and he keeps climbing on the thing, trying to get on the cupboard. So this is not so much to give him an upgrade as it is to prevent him breaking his face climbing on top of that cheap plastic piece of crap HP. The board in it is not a cheap piece of crap. It's a fairly high-end board from the time. It's only a first-gen Phenom, but, you know, it's a little 4-core, 2.4 gigahertz system. It's good enough for playing educational software, that's for damn sure. Focus. Anyways, oh, this is Batman. Hey, Batman, chewer of cables. Another crappy HP and another crappy HP. Another crappy HP. Oh, could that be? Could that be another crappy HP? Yes, it would be another crappy HP. Oh, it's that crappy HP. Holy crap, it's another crappy HP. Oh, that's a Sony Bio. That's an Optiplex. That's a Vostro that's been gutted and has just been used as a case. Decent system. That's I don't know what the fuck. That's an I don't know what the fuck. You know, for all these retro systems I bought, I haven't gotten a single Voodoo. I'm rather disappointed. Another crappy HP. This thing I love. It's a little Micron Pentium 3. It doesn't have an AGP slot, so it's kind of useless, but it's still really cool. My old custom server. Dell Dimension back there. Some crappy oldies. My DOS gaming PC there, DX266. Then what was this? Pentium 200. Yeah, Pentium 200 Windows 98 machine. This is my little HP complete system. Keyboard. Oh wow. I'm looking at this and I'm just realizing just how nasty these keys are. I did not even notice that until I shined the light on it. Yeah, I'm learning how to repair TVs. Say to swap tray. Actually goes to that, now I'm thinking about it. But yeah, well, this is the keyboard that goes to this system, and the monitor that goes to this system, and the mouse that goes to this system. That's a microphone. So this was sold to me one week, and then this was sold to me the next week as an all-in-one computer. And I was like, ooh, yeah, that looks like dumbass. HP did make a couple all-in-one computers, but that's not one of them. Anyways, it's a pretty decent monitor. It's got a really bad, it's got some Gauss damage, magnetic damage to the cathode ray shooter. So when either the CRT or the phosphor, I'm not sure which, but it gets really purple right here. You can degauss it about 10 times, turn it on and off a few times, degauss it a few more, and it actually clears up, but it comes back. So it's still usable, but it's not perfect. Pretty old CRT. Oh my. Sony Trinitron Multiscan. Best fucking monitor ever. Second best monitor would be this ViewSonic, which is also, interestingly enough, a post-Trinitron patent expiration Trinitron monitor. So it's a non-Sony Trinitron monitor. It's actually much better than the Sony Trinitron monitor as far as picture quality, but the controls are busted on it. And I ended up having to drill the damn button out in order to be able to adjust it. So it's just kind of relegated at the bottom there until I can get it taken apart, the button console completely disassembled, and either replace the button or get a new one 3D printed. But, God, I actually want to swap that one for this one eventually, especially because that one's in much better shape. Vintage Cherry MX mechanical keyboard. Obviously, it's a Cherry MX. But, yeah, this is from some Unix system on like a Dell server of some kind from back in the day. It's got a built-in trackpad, which actually works really, really well, by the way, which I actually leave plugged in, and I also have a USB mouse hooked into it. And this is my little Windows 98 system, which is way too good to be a Windows 98 system. It's more of a Windows XP system, but it runs 98. It does not run DOS at all. It won't run DOS programs. It won't run DOS mode anything. I'm pretty sure it has to do with the Audigy card in it. I just spotted an Audigy 2 at my local junk dealer, but they want $200 for it. So I'm going to sit on it for a couple months to see if they'll sell it to me for $20. So I got that. They had it for a month. They needed the shelf space, so they sold it to me for $20. Honestly, it's about all it's worth. It just kind of sits here and does nothing. Fucking Intel Macs. Useless pieces of trash. Some of the first Intel Macs were okay, and then these ones, like the 2009 to 2012 models, are garbage, and anything after that is a waste of fucking money. The laptops are really good Windows 10 machines. Any OS X after Snow Leopard is useless. If you're going to use a computer, build a Hackintosh, save yourself $1,000. Oh, I need to show this off someday. I also need to get frickin' Proxmox installed on it and then run a couple of virtual machines on it just as a proof of concept. Because people told me I couldn't do it, man. I'm trying to build a server in a plastic box. I know, I'm an idiot. Well, I actually built a computer inside of an Owens meat shipping box. Too much weight on this, hold on. There we go, look at that. Look at that bad boy. I recently stole a 2 gig stick of RAM out of there. I needed it for something. But, yeah, that's actually screwed directly to the wood. I always worry about this thing catching fire when it's running, but it's an Atom. Honestly, the chipset generates more heat than the fucking CPU, and I repasted everything, so it should be good. And there is no airflow to the power supply, which is something I'm going to be fixing soon enough. I'm just going to cut a circle here so that there's airflow, because we've got the intake right there, so it would suck the hot air, and it worked exactly as it should. I just need to finish it, which is why it's not running. But, you know, I managed to cut that out well enough that you can plug it in, and the system is actually set up in such a way that it doesn't have a power button or need a power button. You just plug it in. Plug it in and it runs. Yeah, I actually did that. I'm not very proud of it, to be perfectly honest. It's got a 32 gig solid state drive in it, too. Somewhere. Oh, where is the solid state? Yeah, there it is. It's not. Oh, it's not. It's not hooked up. Sorry, I dropped my phone in disappointment for a moment. I spent like 2 hours trying to troubleshoot why it wouldn't detect the damn drive. Let's see. Yep, there we go. Just go ahead and put that there, and I'm just gonna go hang myself or something. Anyways, good score today. For fuck's sake.